coming up.
Otherworldlyculture.com.
An umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies: the 1980 Raging Bull and the 1954 Creature from the Black Lagoon. Starring Robert De Niro, Julie Adams, Kathy Moriarty, Joe Pesci, Richard Denning, and the Gill Man. Now two guys who have done like Robert De Niro did in Raging Bull. They've gained weight to host Dead on the Bases. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
We did that just before the show, actually.
Yeah.
We were all over that. That is our dedication to our craft.
Yep. Thank you, Pizza Hut.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dead on the Bases. My friend over here is Jeff Miller. They call him the ump because he calls it straight down the middle. The middle of what? We don't know, and neither does he. But Jeff is here to help review. Since he's such a huge sports fan, we thought, I got a great idea. Let's have him review horror movies. Yeah. And that's exactly what we do every week here on Dead on the Bases.
And Tim, he's the vamp. He's the horror movie aficionado. I like that word.
Right. You could also just say the good-looking one.
I could do that, but then I would throw people off. So anyways,
okay.
So back to the aficionado thing.
Yeah.
I saw that on a magazine, and I thought I would use that this week.
Nice.
Yeah, so, but anyways, yeah, he likes horror movies. But, you know, Tim really does like all movies. Sports movies are not in his wheelhouse.
Not my favorite. No.
So that's why this kind of works.
I don't understand sports. Curling was on the other night.
Yeah,
and I missed it.
You missed it. I watched it.
I missed it. And here's the thing with curling. It feels like something that I could possibly do. It's like bowling.
So do it.
Right. Well, I could go maybe like 2 times back and forth. I did try sweeping once, but then I got a leaf blower and it was a lot easier.
I thought you were going to tell me you had carpal tunnel. No, but the Olympics are starting. That's pretty cool. I love curling.
You know,
I love the Winter Olympics.
I got to ask you, you're a sports fan.
Yeah,
Are you going to watch the Olympic opening ceremonies, or is that not your deal?
No, I'm not big on the opening ceremonies, but I'll watch definitely bobsledding, the luge, a lot of the skiing events. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried watching the opening ceremonies, and I just find it so dull. I just can't do it. And speaking of dull, I'll be reviewing Raging Bull here tonight.
Nice segue, Tim. Nice segue. Wow.
Set it up. Wow. Set it up and then execute.
Holy cow, man.
And you'll get the fantastic fan favorite Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Before we go any further, that is deceiving. The movie is not in color. It is in black and white.
Both of our movies tonight are in black and white.
But yours at least comes up in black and white. Mine comes up in color.
What?
You knew going into it yours was in black and white because the picture, the movie box, the poster was in black and white.
Okay.
My thing was in color. I was under the impression it would be in color.
There's actually some sequences in Raging Bull that are in color.
Yeah, well, but it's not like the whole thing.
Right.
It's sort of like the Wizard of Oz.
Because he couldn't make a fucking decision to save his life.
All right, let's go.
All right, we're going to get going here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be telling you...
You know what you should have for this week? You should say, ladies and gentlemen, let's get going. You should have wait, I'll do it. Say again. Say again.
Let's get ready to review! Woo!
Yeah, don't tell me we can't figure this stuff out.
I tell you. Only 30 minutes into the show, and we got it all figured out. You can contact me at Tim at Otherworldly Adulterer. Adulterer.com.
Oh, my
God. Wait, I was thinking of this movie.
Oh, my God. You know what?
Otherworldlyadulterer.com. That's how you can get a hold of D'Amato here.
Oh, literally. Hey, I heard Podcast Awards, we're coming.
Yeah, we're coming for you. Right, we're so strong.
Head us up.
Okay, well, let me get this going and that going. We got all sorts of stuff up on the screen. Hey, this is the story of Jake D'Amato.
Yep.
Okay. He's a boxer. You know what else he is?
I know what else he is.
He's a wife beater that cheats on his wife with a 15-year-old girl while beating a lot of middleweights in the ring, presumably to beat the draft. He's 9 years into his career before he finally starts getting somewhere, and only then because he takes up with the mob, because otherwise he's the Marmaluke of the year. He finally lands the middleweight title. He becomes so jealous about his wife, and I looked her up. She's way out of his league, so it makes sense to me in the true story sense. But he becomes so freaking jealous that he pushes everyone away from him, including her. And since he is such a jerk, this isn't even a difficult task. They just run away from him. Then he becomes a club owner, and they say a comedian, but he's not like funny. So is he really a comedian? And I'm not even going to go into that he also has a statutory rape and ends up in jail, and he works strip joints. This is not a likable character, Jeff. This is not one of the sweet and nice characters that I have in the family films I give you each and every week. This is a more violent movie than the one I gave you, and you're watching a horror movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And there's actual murders in that one. This is the more violent film by far. It's crazy, and it doesn't have Creature of Black Lagoon. I think is like an hour and a half soaking wet. This thing goes on for the longest 2 hours of your life. It's like you're in the dentist chair. I felt like this was longer than when I watched Centennial, the miniseries, just recently. Tim, it felt like 26 hours.
Do you realize that as long as it is, there's only 10 minutes worth of boxing?
Right.
That's it.
That's the only interesting parts are the boxing. That's the only interesting parts.
Oh man, I'm gonna get lambasted.
And then they got Coach from Cheers coming in to play the big bad guy. So now I don't even like Coach anymore. One of my favorite characters. They made it in black and white around the same time that Elephant Man was made in black and white. And there is a reason for that. In 1980, the color films sucked balls. I mean, the film stock was dying.
But also...
So I get that. I'll give it that.
But also, Tim, that a lot of boxing movies came out at that time that were in color. The Main Event, Rocky. So he wanted to differentiate this, making it black and white also. That was another reason why
he differentiated it too and not making it interesting.
I knew it. I knew
he didn't make it interesting.
I knew you were going to blow by exactly what I said. I knew it. I dig deep.
I got a counterpoint.
Like, I'll throw some dirt on top of that.
This movie makes trash look attractive.
Oh man, I'm getting killed.
Now. I will say the nice things. The stylized fight sequences, which are only 10 minutes, I'll believe you on that. Those fight sequences are very well edited. You get a good feel for it. And the use of flash bulbs to kind of punctuate his fights. And it's also used to punctuate the end of his career. Because the last time you see a flash bulb is when he retires. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. It's also the last time that you have any feeling for the character at all. Oh. I mean, you slowly... You don't like the guy from the beginning. The first scene you see of him, he's sitting there yelling at his wife. By the third scene, he's cheating on this same wife. But by the time he's retiring, you're like, could somebody in the mob just kill this guy and put him out of his misery? He's just a miserable human being and should be run off the face of the planet. And it's really a shame because I think De Niro did a good job portraying him. I don't know that he acted particularly hard. I kind of think he is a jerk.
De Niro?
Yeah. Yes. I think he is.
Yeah, he is.
Also, there's a scene where he just beats his head against a brick wall. I think that might be what he does for fun. Which would explain some of his more intelligent choices. But...
We could take it down.
You said, oh, there's nothing bad you can say about this movie. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Geez, I would say, and I'm not going toward hyperbole. I did not look forward to watching this movie again. I had seen it once before.
Oh, you did?
I had seen it once before. Okay. But all week, I'm like, this is how Jeff feels when he sees Halloween on the list. I'm like, I'm feeling this because I did not want to watch this movie again. There's just no way. Next week, I get to watch Miracle. I can't wait for that movie. I'm so excited to see that movie. A lot of times you pick movies where I'm like, I'm excited to see. Even Kingpin, which I wasn't a big fan of, I was looking forward to watching it again to see if I got it wrong. I knew with this one I didn't get it wrong.
So maybe it's good that I gave
terrible.
You this. Maybe it's good for you to walk a mile in my shoes once in a while.
This would be the one. This would be the one. And this is also where a movie that you like isn't going to be getting a very high score from me.
I'm not a big fan of this movie. Just so you don't think that I'm a huge fan of this movie.
Okay, you're interrupting me.
Do I have control of that at all during my segment? Do I have a control of that at all?
No, this is over on my side.
Wow.
I just wanted to put a red card on you.
Wow.
I want to
you know what?
bad.
Okay, I'll go old school on you next week. You just wait. All right. Just give me a week to figure it out.
He's going to have like a side.
Give me
You
a week.
sucked him.
Give me a week to figure it out. Just give me a week.
You sucked him.
Shit. Oh.
I do have some horror movie connections.
I assume that you would.
Okay, here we go. First, we got little Bobby De Niro.
Yeah.
That's what he goes
Was that
by.
in there?
I listened very closely for it. I did not hear one.
Can you pick that up? Really, if you're watching a horror movie, can you pick it up?
I picked
Or
it
do you
up.
have to listen?
I was
listen
watching Star Wars Visions, which is on, I think, Disney Plus. I was watching that thing on. And I was watching it, and they used a Wilhelm scream, and I noticed it immediately.
Really?
And it was in the middle of like a crowd sequence and stuff.
To be honest with you, I just never pick it up. I just have to listen to it. Go ahead, hit it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway.
Okay, Jeff.
Anyway, little Bobby De Niro.
Yeah.
Now, I'm waiting for Trapdoor to go ballistic. He played Frankenstein in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein in 1994.
I saw that movie. I saw it at the theater.
Did you like it?
I did.
I was on my brother and I are both on the same thing. We believe the best Frankenstein that's close to the book is the one with Patrick Bergen and, of all people, Dennis Quaid. Or not Dennis Quaid, Randy Quaid. Quaid.
I don't even know.
Plays Frankenstein. I cannot find it because, trust me, if I could find this movie, I would be assigning it to you for certain because I think it's really well done.
No.
The other Robert De Niro movies with horror theme would be Angel Heart, which was made in the 80s.
I know that
with
movie.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. I've heard that movie.
And one that I'm sure you're going to assign me one of these days is The Fan.
Yes.
Which is kind of a thriller, but also a bit of a horror movie.
You, but we're like, was it a thriller? I mean,
it's actually one that I haven't seen, so I'm going to allow it if you give it to me.
You know, we should make it. We both review it. You get it for that, and I get it for horror.
We could do that instead of a preview show. I think that would be better.
So we both talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but what we'll do is we'll keep planning it for years and not do it.
Does it count, though? I mean, I know you haven't watched the movie, but does it count as a sports movie if he's not the guy in the sport?
I don't know.
Because he's just in a movie about sports. So does that count as a sports movie? You're the one who makes the rules here.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to say yes.
All right.
Okay. Kathy Moriarty, who was the wife in here.
Yeah.
She was in Matinee, which is a movie you're definitely going to get at some point.
Wait, what movie?
And it's fun. Matinee. Done by Joe Dante. And
that doesn't even sound like a horror
all about like the 1950s horror movie sensations.
Oh, it's a spoof?
Not entirely, but it really shows you a lot about horror in the 50s, which it's great.
My movie was from the 50s. The one I watched today was. Okay,
yes.
Yeah, there you go.
In fact, I would say Matinee was probably heavily influenced by that movie. That's why I got to get you to see some of these so you can enjoy something like Matinee.
Infused? No, influenced. I don't even know.
Okay. She was also in Casper.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that's not horror.
It's got a ghost in it, don't it?
Oh my God.
And
so it's Ghostbusters.
She was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
All right.
Which Joe Pesci also in an episode of Tales from the Crypt. That you would think are the horror movie connections. But wait.
Only
there's more.
Right.
Listen to this. Jake LaMotta is the uncle to a guy by the name of William Lustig. I'm not even going to go through the list, but this guy has produced and directed around 100 horror movies.
Wow.
Pretty close to that. And even more impressive, one of the good things in this movie is the impressive makeup that they put on him once he's fat, older Jake. Because he looks like the pictures of Jake LaMotta that I found online.
60 pounds he gained.
But I'm talking about the makeup on his face and his nose and that. Yeah. I looked online what Jake LaMotta actually looks like, and it's actually very, very close. Yeah. The guy that did the makeup is a guy by the name of Michael Westmore.
Okay, yeah, Mike.
You know Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go drinking?
No,
oh, okay.
No.
Well, Michael Westmore comes from a family of makeup artists called the Westmores, because that's their last name.
Wow, clever.
Yeah. Guess his dad, I think it's his dad, it might be his uncle, but Bud Westmore was the head of Universal Studios makeup department when Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's pretty cool.
I had no idea. I'm sitting there watching the end credits because I physically couldn't get up. I had been weeping so hard that I had to go through this. And I see Michael Westmore's name go across the credits. I'm like, you have got to be shitting me. I was blown away that he was in there. Very surprising to me.
You know that Bud, who that Bud guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
He was old, and he was wise. So they used to call him Budweiser.
Wow. Actually, Bud Westmore is a very controversial character, and I'll probably talk about that.
Because he drank wine instead of beer.
Okay, there were a number of Academy Awards for Raging Bull.
Oh, I got something about this too. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. It won for Best Film Editing. That I totally agree with. Good editing in it. It got Best Actor for Robert De Niro. Now, it also got nominations for Best Supporting Actress, Kathy Moriarty. Mm-hmm. Was there a lot of crack being used in 1980? I did not think she did very well. I was not impressed by her acting. Joe Pesci got a Best Supporting Actor nomination. That I could see. I thought he was good. Best Sound Mixing, it also got nominated for. It didn't impress me. I had it on the 5.1. I was like, it's okay. So, I'm going to tell you my score now. No? Okay.
Wait, can I give an Academy Award?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay, so get this. All right, so Jodie Foster wanted...
Can
I tell the story?
Yeah.
Or do you want to tell it?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so they were thinking like she'd be the wife, but then she looked too tomboyish and too young, so whatever, blah, blah, blah.
She's not as hot. If you've seen his wife in real life, she is gorgeous.
She is
gorgeous.
So now they're sitting at the Academy Awards, right? And because John Hinckley Jr. shot Ronald Reagan the day before,
and he blamed Jodie Foster.
Yeah, because he was trying to impress Jodie Foster. So Martin Scorsese is in the bathroom and he's like in there taking a whiz or whatever.
That's what you do in the bathroom.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
And the two FBI guys.
Did he wash his hands afterwards?
Well, I don't know about this, but they came up to him and they're like, "Hey, Marty," and he's like, "What's going on?"
Hey, Marty.
He's like, "What's going on?" They go like, "Hey, you know what happened yesterday with the whole shooting of the president and all that? You know, we got to talk to you about the whole Jodie Foster angle because Jodie Foster was in the movie with Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver, and that's what turned on Hinckley Jr." But get this. So this is the twist of the whole thing. I don't know if you know this. You probably do.
We're getting there.
Oh, so you know it. So then he's like, yeah. You can take me down and talk to me whatever you want, but I just want to see who got Best Picture and Best Director. And the two FBI guys go, ordinary people got it. We already know. That's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah,
that's a great freaking story. I don't care.
Ordinary People is one of those movies that I know I should want to see it, and I don't want to see it.
Who's in there? I don't even know. Like Dustin Hoffman. Oh, that's
I
crazy.
know. I know Mary Tyler Moore's in it. That's the reason I want to see it.
MTM.
I think Robert Redford is in that one. I know Timothy Hutton's in it, but it's one of those movies. It got a ton of nominations when I was first starting to watch Academy Awards and that sort of thing. I want to see it, but I also don't want to see it because it looks really boring.
It's very ordinary.
Looks really boring.
Very ordinary.
Now, I'm going to tell you how I graded this. This movie got 5 Oscar nominations.
Oh, this is going down, people. I already know.
2-1, okay?
I feel
Film
like
editing
FBI
and
right
actor. I'm going to give him the one that they missed. Joe Pesci, they should have given him. I don't know who he was against, but I'm going to say it was probably that good. So, I'm going to give this one 3 points for all 3 good things in the movie.
You got the deal on
It almost got 1 for each hour, so let's just remember
okay, don't
that.
get too creative here because
Yeah.
you have all the buttons over there. So what is it?
I do.
A 2 or a 3?
It's going to be a 3. I'm going to give it a 3. Honestly, earlier today, I was leaning toward 2 all day long. And I thought, the direction is pretty good, but it's just so abysmal. I hate the main character. And it's really hard to come back. Oh, we just got this. The same year that this came out in Ordinary People, Empire Strikes Back came out the same year. Wow. That should have got all the Oscars.
Should have.
That is the best of the entire series. And it's got Yoda.
Come on, that's not the best one of the whole series.
Okay,
it's a different, we'll talk about it a different time.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have a separate show just for that. Mm-hmm. That'll be key and crucial. People from across the world will want to know all about that. Hey, you know what time it is?
It's time for
Jeff
to get another drink.
It is time for you to get another drink. And also,
I love March Madness.
It's March Madness time.
Mama Exler.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So, are you ready for this week's?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
It's a new one.
Let's make some merch money.
I like that. Our product speaks for it is itself.
Open it up Muskego style!
That picture that you just saw, that is an actual person that has one of these shirts sent that into our team.
Really?
Yes. Sent it here.
I know the 7 people that have shirts, so I gotta try to figure out who has it. Holy cow! They have Suburbias in Pennsylvania. Wow.
A owner of the shirt sent in that photo and said,
"Thank you.
Jeff needs to see this."
Thank you. Can we see it again? Without watching the whole thing?
Well, it's not that long.
Let's make some merch money.
See Mama Exler again.
Oh, well, that.
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll just do this.
That's a separate one.
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
Our product speaks for itself.
Yeah, except for you.
It said the same thing.
Open it up Muskego style!
Oh, I know who this is then. I think that person right there needs to send us a picture at a different establishment each time with the merch on. Okay, so that person has to go up to someone working behind the counter and have them put the merch on and take a picture of them in front of their store.
That's an assignment. In front of a Suburbia, maybe.
A Suburbia? I'm over Suburbia now. I saw it. Suburbia was good stuff. You know who else had good? Okay, Horror Realm.
Horror Realm is coming in 28 days. Both of us are going to be there.
Maybe.
It's going to be exciting, and there's something we need to tell you.
What?
We're going to be involved in the show.
Well, we were involved last year.
Well, more than last time. We're going to be involved in some panel discussions. We're not going to tell you which yet.
Oh, that's right. We're going to be up there on stage talking to the people. We're going to be interviewing them, doing the whole Johnny Carson thing.
And it's not just going to be, a lot of people have asked, is there going to be a Q&A with Jeff? And the answer is not yet. Not yet.
Wait, what?
That might be in another year or so that we'll just have Jeff up there and asking him questions.
Okay.
He's going to be actually talking to one of the guests
Yep.
of Horror Room. So you have to go and take a look at all the guests and try to figure out who would be best
Let me
for
give you.
Jeff.
Let me give you a hint.
Okay, he's going to give a hint.
XX. That's it. Figure it out from there.
I know the answer, and I don't know what the hell he's doing.
You don't know what that
but
means?
this happens all the time.
Should I tell you or no?
No.
Okay. So, anyways, you gave.
Why
me,
would you tell
You
me?
gave it a 5.
What are you talking about?
You gave the sports movie a 5. It was average. You said. You said it was
No,
ordinary.
I gave it a 3.
You said it was ordinary.
The sports movie was a 3.
Oh.
Get off of your. You are out of control today.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, how
so
many other people do you know with a skeleton? Right, I know. Okay, go. I'm ready.
are you
Yep.
really?
Yep.
Okay. Remember,
wait.
everybody, too, that you can get Jeff via email at Jeff at other. What was it? Other adultery.
No. That was yours.
Otherworldly.
Yes.
Otherworldly culture.com. And Jeff is our sports fan, so of course we found a nice sports movie for him.
And everybody who emails me, I will email you out an autographed copy of Tom Savini, a headshot of Tom
Please.
Savini. Oh, I'll probably get a Ted one. Oh, there he is. The Gill Man. Oh, I'm gonna get you with my big paws. Oh, all right. So,
Like that.
that's pretty good.
By the way,
Yeah.
take a good look at that picture. Do you see? This is something that Jeff would notice. Do you see the thing that's weird about
Yeah,
that
the
picture?
zipper.
Yes, immediately you
Yeah.
can see the zipper on. If you're looking at your screen, it'd be on the right-hand side. And
I'm talking to the Gill
the
Man
zipper
now.
is huge. This is why they're made publicity photos, and they didn't retouch it or anything. I'm like, oh my god, guys.
But okay, I have to get some ground rules before I start my little review.
There's ground rules.
I gotta know what I can
This
do.
is new.
No, it's just can I go? Is it
Wait.
spoiler alerts? What can I
Okay,
do?
at the point when you get too scared, I'll put that up. Okay.
I won't be too scared about this movie.
Okay.
So can
I think
how
you
far
can
I go
spoil.
down?
I think you can spoil the hell out of it.
All right, here we go.
It's like almost 70 years old, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Here's
What
the
was
deal.
it? 1954?
1994.
No, it wasn't
1954.
1994. Thank you.
1954. It's a G-rated movie.
1954, yeah.
1 hour and 19 minutes of pure,
Excitement.
not excitement, but it was fun. So here we go.
It is a fun movie.
All right, so here's the thing. So Tim sent me I had 2 different copies. I had a good copy and I had 3D. I don't have 3D glasses. Tim offered them to me, but I said, no, that's all right. I'll watch it in black and white.
Okay, so first
So I'm
I
fine with
need
that.
to ask.
I'm glad with that.
Afterwards, were you like, oh, I wish I watched it in 3D?
No,
Okay.
no.
Go
All right,
ahead.
so then I gotta ask you one other thing. Richard Denning, is he also Marcus Welby? You know who Marcus Welby is, right?
He did a lot of stuff.
I
I never watched Marcus Welby.
I just remember the commercials. I never watched it.
Yeah, he was a very busy actor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he could have been. Where's
Trogdor will figure it out.
yeah, Trogdor, get on that,
Okay,
please.
so we're back to what Creature from the Black Lagoon. All right, so Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is this movie. I'm not going to get Tim's hopes up too much, so I use some adjectives and adverbs that are very embellishing right now. So he doesn't really know what I'm going to give it. But this is a great starter movie for anyone. If you have kids or whatever, and you want them to watch
a monster movie.
a quote unquote monster movie, horror movie, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the way this starts out, you have this group of people and they're in the Amazon, whatever, and you see this claw and it's sticking out of the limestone or whatever. And I'm like, all right, well they take this out, and then they're like, well, we gotta get this taken.
See, in 3D, it's like this, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Do you remember Second City TV? Do you remember Second City?
Yes. Ooh, scary.
All right.
Ow, ow, ow!
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the movie starts out where this expedition, they find this creature's hand, okay?
Yes.
And then they're like, oh, we gotta get this figured out. So then they go somewhere else and they go to a lab and they figure it out, okay? And then they come back. Now he comes back with like I don't even know, paleontologists. What are they? It's just some scientist people. He comes back.
Yeah, zoologists of some kind.
Because
Yeah.
they want to figure out what this thing is. All right.
Today it would be a Discovery Channel crew on cryptozoology coming out there.
It would be like 17 seasons long, like the Treasure of Oak Island, which is just boring now.
Okay.
But anyways, so they come back. All right, they come back, and then they have Julie Adams. Julie Adams is
hot.
She's a very pleasant looking.
She
woman.
is gorgeous. It
And
hurts me.
She actually outlived everybody else from this movie.
Yes.
She lived to be like 94 years old. Like in 2017, she died, something like that. I want to say, or 2007 or whatever. But anyways, she was like the longest lasting living person. But anyway, so back to the movie. So they come back to
the longest lasting living person.
Yeah.
Okay.
LLP.
Keep going.
Oh no,
keep going.
LLP.
Keep going. Just keep going.
Anyway,
keep going.
So they come back to the Amazon, right? They come back to the Amazon. Now there's a lot of holes in this, and Tim knows when
it's
I watch
a 1950s movie. You gotta expect
Tim
that.
knows I'm gonna find. No, you'll find him in all these movies, like that stupid movie with all the mouse traps, whatever that, or bear traps. There's stuff in there that would never have happened. So
The Collector.
So they come back, and they come back to where they found this arm, right? There he is. And then people are dead in there. So the people are dead in there because the sea monster, the Gill Man, comes out and kills these people because he's in their territory. And
he's very territorial.
I get that. So then they're like, well, let's go look for him some more. No, they go down the river to the Black Lagoon, which I would never go to. If someone says there's a Black Lagoon, why would you go there? They go down the river to the Black Lagoon, right? I mean,
why would you go? Why would you go?
Why would you go? It sounds scary, okay? So, and honestly, I thought the Black Lagoon would be like completely black, but when these underwater scenes, you can see everything perfect. And by the way, I really enjoyed the underwater scenes. If you've watched this show for the last 4 seasons now, I like winter movies, I like underwater movies. And this was actually pretty cool. How they shot him. There's 2 different Gillmen, and I didn't know that until I read the IMDb.
Yep.
So the guy underwater is Rico Browning?
Rico.
Yep,
Browning.
Rico Browning.
But it's spelled Ricou, which I've never seen before.
Right. Well, that's like Christopher Grace. His name is Topher Grace.
Yeah.
But anyways, so back to the Gillman underwater. This was pretty cool. You're watching all these swim scenes, and I'm sure you caught this, Tim, because you're a Jaws guy. But did you notice that scene where they're looking at her up there? It was like, I wonder if the Jaws people got that from that.
Oh, there's no question.
Okay, there you go.
There's no question. And a lot of people say that scene, which I think it's got a name or something. It's like the Creature's Waltz or something like that. That scene is probably one of the most famous horror movie scenes in horror history.
Really?
It's just really well known because the whole time, if you see this movie with an audience, the whole audience is like, get out of the water. He's right underneath you. And he is macking on her. You know, he is liking what he sees.
That's amazing that he's like swimming under her and she's not feeling that current. It's the way that they did that and the way that
well,
he
she's
swam,
acting, you know.
But the way that
this didn't really happen. I have to say this to him every so often. His doctors tell me. I need to remind him.
The way that they did the underwater scenes was very cool. Even when they had the 2 guys in there with the air tanks, it was. Yeah. I thought the underwater scenes is what made this movie for me. And did you know that the 2 guys in the water, when Dr. David Reed and Dr. Mark Williams, when they go in the water, one has 2 air tanks and one has 1, so you can differentiate between the 2.
Yeah, this was before there were the full face masks. Which do you know which movie first used those?
Into the Blue with.
Oh well, we have that.
Jessica.
Hold on, let's see.
Because if they remake this movie, they need to remake it with Jessica Alba.
Was that it?
No, that's.
Is it more like that?
They need to remake this movie with her. Yeah.
We're in Jeff's happy place.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it.
Okay.
So, anyways, what were you saying about the full masks?
That is the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is the best. Anyways, go ahead. What were you saying about the full masks now? About
what was I saying?
The first time they did
I wasn't
full
listening.
Masks?
The full mask. The first movie that used that was The Abyss with James Cameron. James Cameron.
Right, but Ed Helms is in there. Ed Harris.
Ed Harris is in there. Yeah.
And wait, what did you say? What was it called? The movie?
The Abyss.
Yes, and then the chick that's in Color of Money, which you're gonna get later this year.
Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio, I think it said. Yeah.
But anyways, so back to
I literally have to look at her name to remember all the vowels and consonants in there. It's a long name.
I know, it's a long name. That's a lot to spell. But anyways.
It's not easy like Killer Miller.
So back to the movie. So
back to the Black Lagoon.
So then they get in there, and she's swimming around, and I'm like, that's kind of sketchy to be swimming around, because aren't there supposed to be... Aren't there supposed to be piranhas in the Amazon?
Actually, at one point...
Tim?
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, do you want me to give you a little piece of trivia? Now I can't use this one. But in one of the original...
Like you were going to use this.
In one of the original drafts of this movie... the creature of Black Lagoon was going to get shot a few times, go into the Amazon, and be consumed by piranhas.
I don't like that. I'm glad they didn't do that. So
I think we all can agree on that.
So anyways,
that would have been terrible.
I have my reservations at the end of this movie anyways. So anyways, now listen. So
it isn't as realistic as I liked him because the giant sea monster.
Well, but it's cool. It's cool because they're going in there, and I was getting kind of pissed. You know why?
I can't wait.
I was getting pissed about this, and I don't usually get
So the movie was working. You were actually engaged.
Yes, that's it. I don't usually get as engaged as I'm going to get right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Just let the creature be the creature. They were. I'm going to say.
But that's what the idea of the movie is.
But I hate this. I hate the fact that they kept going after this guy, because they're just let him live. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I didn't like the fact that Denning kept whining.
Thank you for ringing the bell. I hate it when you fucking swear.
Okay, so I didn't like it when Denning, Dr. Mark Williams, kept whining to shoot this guy. That's why he was getting pissed with you guys. He's like, get away from me. Just let me be. Just let me be. They should just let him live.
Well, and a lot of people say that Tom Arnold. No, it's not
Tom Arnold. Oh my God, Roseanne.
What is his name? Jack Arnold. Jack Arnold, the director. Notice I didn't have to go to the IMDb like you. Jack Arnold, the director, is thought to have put quite a bit of the environmental spin that's in this movie. This is a real movie about because the good guy scientist, what is his name? Dr. Reed?
Yeah.
He is always like, I want to observe him, but we don't have to capture him and take him back to the zoo.
Yeah, and Denning...
Now, does this remind you, by the way, of any other movie?
Yep.
What one?
King Kong.
Absolutely. And the sequel to this movie is called Return of the Creature.
Wait a second.
Here it comes.
How is their sequel? He's dead.
It's
They shot
ambiguous.
him.
It's ambiguous if he's completely dead or not. And
he drowned.
In the next movie, he is caught and brought back to Marineland in Florida. And he's put on display. And he breaks out and causes havoc. Just like the second half of King Kong. He's out in public. So some people say if you watch this one and immediately follow the first sequel, the third sequel's terrible.
There's a third one to this?
Yeah, there's 3.
Oh my God.
But there's only 3. A lot of those Universal monster movies, there's I think 8 Frankenstein films.
What's the third one called? Do you know?
The Creature Walks Among Us. And
what's the
thing is, that one, it starts with water sequences. And then about halfway through the movie, they're like, those are really expensive. Let's not do those anymore.
Water ones?
And the creature of Black Lagoon gets regular lungs. And he's just walking around on, terra firma. And I'm like, well, you just took what was cool about this series away from this. And also, gorgeous blonde in that one. But in Revenge of the Creature... That's the movie that really turned me on to Creature of Black Lagoon, because back in the 80s, you might remember this name. A local Milwaukee DJ was on Channel 18 promoting this movie because they were going to show it in 3D, not Creature of Black Lagoon, the sequel, Revenge of the Creature.
Reitman and Miller?
It was Reitman.
Yeah,
it was Bob Reitman by himself. And I recorded it on VHS, and I'm not shitting you. That is probably the VHS that I watched more than any other in my collection at that time. I watched it with those stupid red and green glasses that were made out of cardboard. I think I got them at like Open Pantry or someplace like that. And I watched it over and over and over again. I just loved the underwater sequences in the second one. They're not quite as good as this movie, but they're what's interesting, they're in like a fish tank because they're at Marineland. So there's a lot of fish always going around. And because they're in a fish tank, they hook them up with microphones so they can still be talking while they're doing stuff, which in this movie, like when they go under the water, it's like, okay, we're only going to hear music for the next however long. So that's kind of...
It's cool.
It's underwater. They don't overdo it. They don't overdo the underwater. It isn't like you get bored. It's always really well done.
Like this underwater was cool. I thought that helped me really enjoy this movie. I can see where you're saying where it's in a tank with other fish. I can see where that would work with 3D because it worked with Jaws 3D.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can see
a lot of people consider Jaws 3D a remake of Revenge of the Creature.
Really?
Yes,
really? Okay.
And I can kind of see it, except it's SeaWorld instead of Marineland.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of connections. One of these years, I'll probably have. We're talking like season 72, where I'll have you watch Revenge of the Creature followed by Jaws 3D.
So a couple things that I
just loving this idea. There's 72-year-old Jeff. You're still making me watch these goddamn.
Yeah, I know. No kidding.
I ran out of sports movies 20 seasons ago.
No, there's so many sports movies.
There are not.
Now listen. A couple things that I didn't like about this is that why would he go up on the boat? He has no reason to go walking.
Because there's take another look at her, please.
Yes.
She is scorchingly hot.
So what's his purpose? Was he going to take her back and then
he was going to do the loop-de-loo with her?
Okay, no, he wasn't. So
did you see The Shape of Water?
No.
The movie The Shape of Water,
no, it's on,
which won a Academy Award or two, was a reimagining of this film.
Really?
It was originally it was going to be part of the Dark Universe, and the Dark Universe was they were attempting to do the Universal monster movies again, and there was a Dracula movie that they made that was. Then they wanted to make this movie they were going to do a remake of this called The Shape of Water, turned into Shape of Water, and Guillermo del Toro was kicked off the Universal lot because apparently they didn't want anything successful to sneak into the Dark Universe. And they made that terrible Tom Cruise mummy movie, which killed the whole idea of Dark Universe. It was the end
Wait a
of
second.
Dark
I
Universe.
thought The Shape of Water, honestly, I thought this was supposed to be some love story about a person and a horse in a tank.
No.
Seriously, that's what isn't that what the shape looks like? It looks like a horse.
No. It looks like the creature of Black
Well,
Lagoon.
then I don't even know.
And it's different enough so that there wasn't a copyright problem.
I don't even know anymore,
when they took it to another studio.
So the water turns into to the creature?
No, it's The Shape of Water is just the name of the movie.
Well, that's a dumb name. That's a dumb
okay.
name. Because nobody would want to go see that ever.
Now, I actually went to the place called Silver Springs in Florida. I'm disregarding that.
Oh, wait. You're going to the place where all the mermaids are in Florida?
That was Wiki Watching.
Did you ever go there?
I did not. I never had a chance.
I've seen it online a lot.
Yeah, well, I went to Silver Springs where there's some question. I think most of this movie was actually shot at Wakulla Springs, but there might have been a sequence or two done in Silver Springs. This is where they have the glass bottom boats. And it is gorgeous, clear water. And a couple of James Bond movies were shot there.
It wasn't black at all, like they lied. Black Lagoon.
It's
why would
gorgeous.
they say that? Why would they say Black Lagoon?
Who's scared of Rosy Lagoon?
Why misrepresent it? Then throw some dye in the water.
Gilligan's Lagoon. Nobody's scared of Gilligan's Lagoon.
Why don't they throw some black dye in the water so it looks black? But anyways, that captain was out of hand.
Wait, what do you wanted like an environmental incident? You wanted them to pour oil in there and kill everything?
Honest to God, I thought that.
What would happen when she threw the cigarette into the water or just start on fire?
I honestly thought this lagoon was gonna be black, like you couldn't see. I did. I thought that's the way
it is the way you watch horror movies because your little eyes are closed and you're scared.
This wasn't a horror movie. Anyways, so back to the captain. The captain is underrated. The captain is, I wasn't scared.
The captain was the best character.
He was.
And he comes back in the first sequel, and that's part of the problem with the third movie because the captain isn't in it.
He's
at
pretty
all.
cool. I gotta give him credit. He has some good comic relief there. Yeah.
You're going after him? Boy, this is.
And he had those.
Watch out! It's the Black Lagoon. No one comes back here.
Yeah, they go, but they don't come back. It's the most beautiful place on earth, but no one comes back. Yeah, that's pretty.
Great stuff. He is so good, and he's always like honking a horn to make alligators jump in the water.
Yeah.
He's a great character.
So
Hey, I think it's time for the score. We're going too long here.
Oh well.
I know what number I'm thinking it's going to be.
It's gonna be a nice solid 8.
Oh, way above where I thought you.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I thought this is a good movie.
It's a fun movie.
For me. Okay, so a person who's not hardcore into horror.
Yeah.
This is a great movie. This is a good movie if you have a young child that you're like.
Yes.
You kind of want to like get them into horror or get them into monsters. This is a good movie to watch.
This is the movie that you watch Sven Gulli.
Yes.
When this movie is being shown on Sven Gulli, you tune in because that's going to be a great show that day. But all right,
I liked it. I did like the movie. Can't complain.
It is time.
The only way to be better
What?
is if they remake it with Jessica Alba.
That would make it slightly better. So they pick hot chicks for all 3 movies. I am telling you,
Also,
they did some nice. Oh, she's always. Julie Adams is only in this one. Laurie Nelson is in the second one. And the third one is Lee Snowden, I believe. Is her name? You believe me?
I don't know. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, good.
Are the other ones in color or black and white?
All 3 are in black and white. Only the first 2 were shot in 3D. But it's good stuff. Okay, you got your sheet out. Why don't you go first this week?
Okay, there's a lot of reading here.
There's a lot of reading. Here we go.
It's
It's about Raging Bull. So that's what I'm about to hear from Jeff. For those of you that haven't watched the show, he's going to read 3 statements. 2 are true. 1 is a falsehood.
And are you going to turn off so Trogdor and people don't give you the answer?
I'm not looking over there.
Well, I'll turn mine off then so you don't see mine.
I want to see. I want to see.
Robert De Niro.
They're going to guess.
Robert De Niro held the record for most weight gained for a role with 60 pounds until the guy who played Private Leonard Gomerpile Lawrence in Full Metal Jacket gained 70 pounds for his movie.
His name is Vincent D'Onofrio. Okay, let's hear the next one.
You're right, that is the name. I didn't write it down because I didn't know how to say it. Okay, the other one. This was the first movie that De Niro and Pesci acted together in. They became really good friends doing the movie. Such other movies that they were in were like Goodfellas, Hoffa, Casino, and just like others 90s.
All those movies you just listed, better than this one.
Yep. Okay, so just like all those other movie stars in the 90s, they opened up a business together. Think like Planet Hollywood, except this was a chain of health clubs on the East Coast that catered to boxers. It was named Sucker Punch.
Okay.
And then finally, Debbie Harry, the musical artist.
Okay. Blondie, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Auditioned
for the role of Jake LaMotta's wife.
Kathy Moriarty's part?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do know this was the first movie for Pesci and Kathy Moriarty.
Yeah, she was just like a line cook or something. She was just a waitress or something. She had no acting credits before this.
Yeah. I think she did some theater, though.
Yeah, but...
I think she did some theater because I thought Joe Pesci actually threw her name into the hat. Joe Pesci, they saw doing something to a small child.
Don't. That was Tim. That was not Jeff.
That was not Jeff. Okay, I'm going to say the last one with Debbie Harry.
Yeah.
That one's got to be true. Because I know Martin Scorsese is a huge mark for rock and roll. And I think he did something for the Rolling Stones. He would just love to have a music person involved. But he also likes having successful movies. So he probably walked away from that one. So that one's definitely true.
Okay.
Then you had this health boxer thing that sounds dubious to me. And the first one was what again? It was
the guy who you know the name of that I don't.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
He holds the record.
Now Vincent D'Onofrio actually played Thor in the movie Adventures in Babysitting, and he was in good shape.
Him.
It was him.
Are you kidding me?
I will show you a picture later, and you'll be holy shit.
No way.
And he was in damn good shape for that. I just don't know that he gained the weight specifically for that movie. But I don't like the idea. The sucker punch thing just sounds... There's a lot of detail to your lies usually. I'm gonna go with sucker punch is the false one.
You'll be correct.
Hey! Finally!
Finally, you got
that does not happen too often. I'm usually the one that sucks at trivia.
2 for 2.
I suck at trivia, and I'm aware of it. Okay, here we go for you. I gotta make sure I didn't give away one of these earlier. Wait, which one is the false one?
There are none.
Hold on. Oh, I got it. Yeah, okay. So, Creature, this is A. Yeah. Letter A, everybody. Creature of the Black Lagoon soundtrack featured cues, and that means little pieces of music, from The Wolfman. Okay. Little short segments of that.
Like the movie Wolfman or like
the movie The Wolfman.
Okay.
Which was also a Universal picture.
All right.
40s, I think.
Okay.
Next. Underwater creature Rico Browning directed the underwater sequences for the James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay.
Letter C. Some scenes on the Rita, which is that boat they're on, were not shot on the water at all, but on a process set in Universal Studios. They had just screens behind them.
What a surprise. So that's... let's see. Creature from the Black Lagoon soundtrack featured
cues from The Wolfman. Rico Browning directed the underwater sequences in The Spy Who Loved Me. Or Rita was not on the water at all sometimes, just at Universal Studios.
So the way that I'm rolling with this.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of the James Bond movie would be Thunderball. That was a lot of underwater. I can't remember if Spy Who Loved Me had underwater scenes. And the Creature from the Black Lagoon's soundtrack featured cut cues from the Wolfman, which could be like the jungle. They could have been like throwing that in the jungle, like the jungle. I said jungle now, a jungle.
Yeah, you keep saying
it. C is going to be correct because I'm sure they did it because, I'm almost 100% positive on that. So it's either going to be B or A. Spy Who Loved Me. I can't place that one, and I'm thinking that he would probably do the one that for Thunderball, but Spy Who Loved Me. You know what? I'm gonna go against what I want to go against, and I'm gonna say A is the false one.
A is the false one.
Yes!
That's your final answer. Oh. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Oh, it's B.
It is B.
Mother trucker.
And
I knew it.
Believe it or not, Jeff, it was so hard listening to you do that because Rico Browning actually did direct the water sequences in Thunderball. He did not for The Spy Who Loved Me. Which amazes me because there are so many Bond movies.
Damn it.
That Rico Browning did all that work and then they didn't really hire him for a lot of the other Bond movies. And I'm like, why the hell wouldn't you? That was the only thing that worked in Thunderball. I think that's like the worst of the James Bond movies. So,
can I get a
that's
redo?
Unfortunate. No, you do not.
And they did have sounds like in the
Wolfman.
Son of a bitch.
Now also, get this. the soundtrack to Creature of the Black Lagoon,
Yeah.
they had 3 different composers on it. They took old cues from other movies, and Henry Mancini was one of the composers. He did the famous Pink Panther theme.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And you know what else he did?
No. Something with James Bond, maybe?
No. He rode around in a golf cart with my brother at Summerfest.
Well, that's good.
He actually got to meet him one time during Germanfest, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
And drove Henry Mancini around. He also wrote the music to Breakfast at Tiffany's. What the hell's that name? I forget the name of the song, but he got an Oscar for the main song in Breakfast at Tiffany's. So, but really strange to me that there are so many different composers.
Damn.
Because when you listen to that movie, it's the same 3 notes over and over. It's oh shit, I forgot how it goes. It's just over and over that Black Lagoon theme, and all 3 of them must have agreed on that 3-note theme, and it's great stuff. It's great stuff.
Real great. Yep.
All right, so you're a little bit down in the mouth there, buddy.
Well, I had the right answer. I just went against it.
Do you know how many times I do that? Like almost every time.
I should know, but I don't even think there's even any water scenes in
There are.
There are. That
And I enjoy. That's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so Tim finally got a trivia.
You got one last week. Stop
Jeffy did not this time. And you gave the horror movie an 8. So I am pulling away a little bit, but I know I'm going to like Miracle next. Well, yeah, let's go into the previews, folks.
I'm kind of disappointed. I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
I should have had that
yeah,
right.
I say this.
Damn it.
So I know I'm going to like Miracle. I've
You
been
think
looking
so?
forward to this movie. When we started the show, I was about to watch this movie, and I'm like, oh, I better wait and see if Jeff gives it to me. He waits till season 4, everybody.
I'm waiting for the Olympics because if you haven't noticed by now, I tried to match things up.
Yeah.
I'm a very kind of matching type. We do black and white. I try to match actors. You know that.
That is what you do.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm very particular like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes,
I'm looking forward to that, but I'll tell you what, Jeff, I think I got a strong contender here by the same director as Happy Death Day, Freaky. And if you can't figure it out, yeah, it's a take on Freaky Friday.
Oh, is it really?
With a slasher.
Oh God! All right.
Yeah, I think you're gonna really enjoy this. It's funny, it's scary, it's got a lot of action. Vince Vaughn is in it.
I'm not a big Vince Vaughn fan because he plays the same character in every movie. Hopefully,
he gets to play something a little different, and that's actually the freaky part of things.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, I'll take
so it's kind of I think it's in your wheelhouse.
All right.
But I've been wrong before when I tried picking movies for you. Sometimes, like Fright Night comes to mind every freaking time. No, I knew you were gonna hate Collector. I did that for fun.
Fright Night?
I thought you were gonna like Fright Night.
Well, which one was that? The first one that you gave me ever?
That was the vampire one.
The first one.
That was the one where you got scared because the garage door opened.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh, damn. You know what? I'm gonna be obsessing about this for a week now.
What?
The fact that I got that wrong. I should have 5 points on my thing right there.
You know what you should do? You should beat yourself up about it. That's what you should do.
Anyway,
you should be very angry.
this is all right. We did pretty good on time.
Yeah, we're pretty close, and we're going to screw it up here at the last minute. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning. Oh, I'm supposed to have
where's yours?
My script open, and like a dummy, I closed it. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm not putting Jessica up again. You just want to look at Jessica.
Rita. You know what? I tried to find out why they named the boat Rita, and I couldn't find it out.
It's short for
Margarita?
Retarded infants.
Okay, let's go. No.
No?
We're going. Nope.
No? Okay.
It's short for Margarita. All right, let's go.
It is. I didn't know that.
It is.
Okay. I forget there was a different boat in the third one, and he had a name I thought was interesting.
Daiquiri?
Yes, it was Daiquiri. You got it right.
Let's go.
Okay, so it's time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank you all for watching. Remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. Want to thank everybody that came out specifically live here tonight. Hope you enjoyed tonight's program. But if you're joining us later on, you can follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and other fine places. We do ask, hey, go out there and give us a positive review. Even if you give us a negative review, at least somebody will be watching and looking at this thing. So please go out there and talk it up. We would love to have you be a part of the Dead on the Bases family. Because as we say here every week, if it's sports, it's a home run. If it's horror, run home. We're Dead on the Bases, and we'll see you next time. Otherworldlyculture.com. What the heck? What? I didn't even hear it. Did you talk for like 30 minutes.com?
I did. That's maybe we should change his name to Tom. No, Tom's name should change his
Why are you starting a feud with poor Tom Savini?
Because he did not know who I was at Horror Realm. He did not.
There were times in Horror Realm you didn't know who you were. No snappy comeback to that one, was there?
Jack and Jim and
Your
Mr.
friend
Dylan
Kraken?
Bundy. Yeah. Released
Captain
Kraken.
Morgan?
Yeah. Sailor Jerry.